one that's he started the season and then it's kind of due to injury and other things has been in and out since then. What have you kind of seen from his overall development so far?
I think Shaquarney's done a really nice job in the things that we've asked him to do. He's really learning the game. It's kind of slowed down for him. There's a lot that a young player has to learn, when you come from college to the NFL. But I think he's doing a nice job with the transition, and every day he's just working to get better. I mean, that's really what his focus is, and that's what he's trying to do.
In the last couple of weeks, also kind of due to injury, Isaiah Pulomau has gotten involved at safety as well. Mm-hmm. He's made a few plays, interception against the Dolphins, and a few others. What have you seen from him just kind of as he's settling into the role?
Well, he's really trying to become a pro. He's watching guys like Marcus Epps, study and practice. And Trayvon's done a really nice job trying to mentor him as well. And I think he's really kind of getting into his own rhythm and groove about, how he has to take care of his body, how he's prepared, the mental reps he has to take at practice. And whenever his opportunity is given, he's got to take advantage of it. And I think that's what you've seen from him, especially in the Miami game. He was thrust out there, not getting a lot of reps at practice as to what it is at this time of year, but he took advantage of the mental reps and the opportunities he had, and he went out there and played a really good game against Miami. He just continues to try to improve every week.
You mentioned Trayvon Merrick. He's been a guy that's really taken a step forward this year. What do you think has clicked for him just kind of in year 2 of the system and helped his play improve?
Well, I think just year 3 in the National Football League, he gets it more. The second year in the same, or not the same, but a similar system. So there's some consistency there. And again, I think, last year he had Deron Harmon. This year he's got Marcus Epps. He's got 2, other veteran, safeties that have really kind of helped him as well. But Trayvon is pretty serious about what he's doing, and I think earlier this year I was asked about the development of Trayvon, and a lot of things that we've done schematically have been for him, to try to be consistent, fit his skill set, and help him improve. And I think we've been able to do that.
Coach, it feels like Amik is an example for young players to stick with it, stay with it. He's kind of forced your guys' hand a little bit, like don't take me off the field, whether special teams or playing quarterback. What kind of lesson is that for a young player to follow?
Well, I think it's just control what you can control, and go out every single day and make it hard for people not to play you. He's a guy that just works. He loves ball, and one of the things that he does all the time is he gets his hands on balls, whether it's interceptions, PBUs, knocking the ball out for fumbles. And when you got a player that does that, it's got that ball production, you're going to have to find a way to play him.
We haven't seen Chris Smith too much, but obviously he's practicing with you every day. We don't see practice anymore. What have you seen from him in terms of his growth and practice?
He's just getting better. He's working, still trying to learn the ins and outs of the National Football League and the long season, and find his role and things like that. But I've been really pleased with how he's developed here, more so mentally than anything. Again, taking advantage of the mental reps that he gets. He's really taking great notes in meetings. And I really like the path that he's on right now. He's doing some more on special teams right now, so we'll see where it goes from there. But he's a mature kid. He cares a lot about his performance, takes great notes, asks really good questions, pays attention to practice, and all those things are making him better.
Nice to meet you.
I really
What's
think
your
that they're
first
coming
name again?
together.
Vinny?
Yeah.
I
think the
chemistry
is
great.
great.
Nice to meet
you. They really do a great job of working with each other.
Yeah.
I know anytime you're the 7th pick overall, playing at a high level every single there's going to be a lot of attention paid to you.
Of course.
But there's still a process as well.
Of course.
Of development. What have you seen, for Tyree in terms of that development?
Hard work. I think he's become his hardest critic and been able to look at himself and give an honest evaluation. Development, I think he was, to be honest with you, humbled a little bit early, and he's really responded in the right way, controlling what he can, stuff like that.
In what ways would you say that he was humbled?
Everybody has expectations going in this league and how they envision themselves, and then reality can be a little bit different in this league, making the jump from college. And I've worked with Jalen Phillips at Miami, Adafe Owe at Baltimore, other first-round picks, and it's sometimes tell these guys, I said, it's not your fault. Like you guys are. They're recruited at such a young age. They walk on the field, they look a certain way. They just run by different players because they can. And when you get to the NFL, it's the best versus the best. It's your technique versus his technique. There's a process to that. How to deal with grown men and being blocked in this league. And he's been awesome in terms of his attitude and not focusing on the results, which everybody wants to see, but just staying at it. And he's been great.
Another rookie that we haven't gotten a chance to see too much of is Byron Young. Defense tackle you guys drafted. What have you guys seen from him kind of behind the scenes in terms of how he's coming on?
Same thing. Byron's a pretty sound player. I know he wants his shot to play. I know he wants to play more. I think Byron's the best thing for Byron right this year that he's benefited from is watching Jank, watching Adam Butler, watching the way they go about their business every day. And not that he's far off at all, but this league's all about the details and getting to watch them. And those two have played at a high level, and it's a competitive deal. Byron's time will come. I told him this morning, I said, he's going to be a great player in this league. His opportunity is going to come.
Sometimes people look at it as a negative that he's maybe not dressing out, but I mean, there's a reason for that. There's players that are playing better that might that are in front of him, and he is on a development track. Is that a reminder that you have to give him and maybe some others that this isn't a bad thing that's happening right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't rush the process. It's a game. I just heard Ash talk about it. You're looking for consistency, right? And they're like, well, I did it right here. Well, it's like batting percentage. Well, Jank does it at a pretty high level. He doesn't miss a back block ever. He plays a double team right pretty much at a high level. So you look at other guys and maybe you're 1 for 5 or what. I don't know what the percentage is with Byron, but that's kind of what you're looking at as a coach. I know he's going to do his job and at a pretty high level, and I think they are pushing him to be even better.
I'm sure you have a perception of Max Crosby just from watching him before you got here, but what stood out the most about him that you had the opportunity to work with him on a day-to-day basis?
How long is it?
To be honest with you, man, I'm kind of speechless after this week of what I witnessed that man go through. He's special. He's special, and what he does for our room, for the football team, it means so much to him beyond my wildest imagination. And the guy's, to use his quote, I don't know if he cares if I use that. He's like, I'll die before I don't play in this game, And he's a special person.
Nesta Jade Silvera, another young player that's on the development track. What have you seen from him in terms of his development?
Nesta's same thing. I think Nesta has definitely some explosive, twitchy, good traits. Goes back to the consistency theme. Kind of also being able to play multiple roles. He does certain things really, really well, and then other spots from 0 nose to shade to 2-eye to 3 technique, and learning all the spots and the different blocks he has, as well as working on his pass rush. But he's working hard. He flashes every day in practice, but kind of finding his home of where he fits best to get up to the 53. But he has infectious energy. Love that kid. He's great for our room. He's been great.
A couple of players in the locker room, defense said that Graham challenged him a couple of weeks ago to go from being good defense to a great defense. In your opinion, as a defensive line coach, what are some things that you can do to kind of push the board to going from good to great?
Just dominate, play in and play out. Run and pass game. Everybody knows what that looks like. So I think there's times you go the first 2 series yesterday. We're out there playing at a pretty high level. First play of the game, we get the screen play, 15-yard loss, getting behind the sticks, and we're rolling. So keep executing like that. Like I said, just consistency. I'm trying to avoid saying the same thing over and over, you know what I mean? But that's what dominant defenses do.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
Coach, how's it going? I'm curious as to what it is you need to see from your position group moving forward.
Just a level of consistency. That's the one thing that we're all looking for. That Pat Graham, preaches for all of us. We just talk about stats, leverage, eyes in our room. We know when we do that, the amount of talent in that room, we'll find the football and we'll play better.
You've got a lot of talent, you've got a lot of intelligence, you've got a lot of youth also in that position group. Curious as to where you've seen the biggest amount of growth from your position.
Wow, I tell you what, it's really as a whole. When you come in and you see those guys right there, not huge names in this league, but guys who have an abundance of talent, guys that have stepped in different situations, guys that we've shuffled guys around. The guys that they're professionals, they've approached it day to day as pros. So I mean, I'm just really happy about just the group as a whole.
Entering last week, you guys kind of noticed an uptick in terms of turnovers on the season. A lot of those were interceptions. I'm curious as to if there's anything that had changed in terms of mentality, in terms of logistics with the defensive backs, leading up to that uptick in turnovers.
I think anytime in sports, you realize as a coach you get what you emphasize, and then also with that we've emphasized it. We have Rob Leonard, of course, who talks about it all the time with the group. The guys are excited about it. The guys are pushing each other. It's one of those things that they've taken as a challenge. So, I mean, that's why you see the uptick.
I'm curious, especially like a game against Kansas City, the Dolphins as well. What goes into your decision as a coaching staff in terms of your defense when you're running man versus zone? What helps decide that?
Well, I think the one thing is whenever you plan those really good offenses, you can't just be one way. It can't just be all man. It can't just be all zone. The first thing is you always, anytime you're talking about putting together a game plan, you first start with the people. It's their people, it's your people. So with that, then you go scheme. So, Pat's always looking to attack the people. He's always looking to attack when you talk about the quarterback, the offensive coordinator, and then be able to attack the center, because that dictates the protection. So it's a lot that goes into it. So, I mean, that's why we entrust him to do it.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate
You got it,
it.
man.